I guess. Sorry. Hello and welcome back to the Rossi Brothers Sports Podcast. My name is John, joined as always by my brother Adam. Adam, today you are joined in person by our special guest. Would you like to introduce him for us?
I would, yeah. Really excited to be joined by Mr. Joe Hegarty today. Joe is born and raised in Kansas City and a lifelong Kansas City sports fan.
Yes.
Go Chiefs,
The Chiefs,
go
go Jayhawks,
Jayhawks,
go Royals.
go
Rock Chalk.
Royals, maybe go soccer
Indeed.
teams in
Yeah.
there. And Joe is a core member at the
JP2.
JP2
Yeah.
house.
To hopefully be down the road at Lake Mary, out in Latha, and hopefully live with my girlfriend possibly down the road. Yes.
Okay, super cool.
Excellent.
And
Get
you,
get a car, and have my own guardianship for myself, and marriage and all that, family. And
dude,
everything.
it's great things.
Excellent.
Things
Great
gonna
things,
happen.
Yeah.
And you're living at L'Arche Heartland.
Large, yeah, and hopefully
Cool.
be a musician, a rapper too, if it's all it's meant to be as well. As
Okay.
what your guys' stuff is doing too.
A man of many talents.
Legit. Yeah.
Many talents, many dreams.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Joe. We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, super
Well,
cool.
this will be fun. So, I mean, just to start off, we know you're a pretty huge Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Mhm.
Which has been a pretty
And Tech
interesting
Nine
team.
and Tech Nine too. And Tech Nine too.
Okay, gotcha.
What's
What's that?
He's a rapper,
Oh,
local rapper
Okay.
from KC, born and raised.
Ah, nice. Okay,
Tech Nine.
I'll have to look at. I don't know.
I think
It
I've
shows.
heard of him.
I'm behind the times a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually listened to him.
He has a movie too. It's like an
Oh, really?
Irish movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay. I'll have to look it up. Tech
Cool.
Nine.
Yeah. Make a note. Make a note.
Holly Gates, I think that's his real name.
But Kansas City. Oh,
Oh, he's
okay.
big now.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Kansas City Chiefs. Just like general broadly, what has it been like to be a fan of the Chiefs, recently or just in your lifetime? Because it definitely
Just lifetime,
seems like an
man.
interesting team.
Just lifetime seeing John Montana from John Montana from John Montana to Del Carter, Drum Woods, and all those guys up, and Rich Gannon up to Trent Green and Deontay Hall, the Magic Joystick, and Priest Holmes, and all up to Jamal Charles and Alex Smith up to Kareem Hunt. Too bad we lost him, but we got this guy from Rutgers now, and all the Super Bowl we had in 2019 against the Niners, and who knew we were going to do that? And now we're almost in this, and then lost to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, unfortunately, during COVID. Too bad for COVID, no fans. To have two-sided fans, and then Andy Reid's son doing what he did was a distraction to all of this. And then last year, who knew that Cincinnati, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase would come out and shock the world in front of 1,000 million people in Arrowhead at GHA Field, and who knows? Maybe this is our year. We're 4-1, and Chris Conley's came back onto the practice squad, and we let go Tavarius Ward to the Niners, and Honey Badger to the Saints, and Dirty Dan Sorensen to the Saints, and Kareem Hunt, and we lost we lost Alex Okafor and lost Dorian O'Daniel, and look at we are now. We are still in a good spot, and we might have, hopefully in the next couple of days or the next week, maybe we'll have a breaking news that Odell Beckham Jr. signs with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That'd be quite a story, that's for sure.
What?
That'd be quite a story.
Yes. And make a run and be the. That's what That's what what's his name? Um that's what the guy from that Stephen A. Smith says. And all and then get up in the morning on ESPN has said and John, I don't know his name on Get Up in the Morning on ESPN, John something and even
I'm not sure who's opposite Stephen A. Smith
and
anymore.
Marcus Spears, ex Dallas Cowboys, LSU, and yeah. So and another guy said pick KC, and then the ex Colts center, I forgot his name.
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday picked the Packers.
Wow. So that's this is interesting. I think I maybe have an interesting view on this living in Kansas City because my first true NFL love team is the Browns. And
they got Kareem.
They did. Yeah, we got Kareem up. But another connection now possibly is that the Browns had Odell Beckham Jr., and it seemed like when Odell signed with the Browns, it was like, whoa, here's this offense that it seemed like at the time was maybe clicking pretty well. And now we add Odell Beckham Jr. to the mix, and whoa, it's just gonna, just be the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it wasn't, as it turned out. And the marriage didn't end very well last year for the Browns or OBJ. Well, I guess OBJ ended up winning the Super Bowl, so maybe it ended up well for him. But the Browns
he ended up on the good side of that.
yeah. Browns didn't work out for OBJ. So do you think? I mean, the Chiefs this year, I thought the big question going into the season was, can this offense click with all the receivers they lost
without Tyreek Hill,
right? And
but also, I would say most of their receivers they lost, right? Cole Hardman, I think.
No, we have Hardman.
He's still okay.
There
are a couple other though.
Byron Pringle, ex-K State Wildcatter.
I've seen him play in Morgantown. But so now through 4 games, it seems like this new offense for the Chiefs, these wide receivers are clicking pretty well and they're moving the ball pretty well. If you put OBJ in that mix, do you risk having a repeat Brown situation where he doesn't really produce for him?
Who knows? I know we have Chris Conley coming off the practice squad. We have Darius Fountain. I don't know if he could. I don't know how how teams can win Super Bowls without major stars like Tyreek Hill and have because I've known the Patriots back in the day. They didn't have big what is it called big name superstar wide receivers like Hill and everything. They had they have had receivers like the receivers the Patriots have right now. Myers, I don't know what's his first name. Myers and then they've had Patriots have had Vernon in one time. Vernon Green, tight end. I don't know, and Ben Watson. But Patriots know how to win. Tom Brady knew how to win with any wide receiver. So it can be in the same. It could be a same scenario with Mahomes. Mahomes seems like he can win games with any wide receiver as well. It seems like it's what is it called, a
rearrange the deck chairs.
It's like another. It's like a continuing cycle.
It's like a little revolving door.
Revolving door.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I think a lot of people would consider the New England Patriots to have been a dynasty, and if you look at, they kind of did it both ways, right? Like they earlier on, when I was a younger child and I considered myself a New England Patriots fan, I'm a little ashamed of now, but in the day I was into it. They did have Randy Moss for a few years there. and that was like he and Tom Brady set like the record or whatever at the time for most touchdown like pass and catch between like a single pairing of quarterback and receiver or whatever. Right, so they did it with the big right. Like I think Randy Moss would definitely be a big superstar receiver, but then also right like the latter years of that dynasty was very much the sort of revolving door like you're talking about of like a lot of different receivers who a number of them went to other teams. I think some of them are still playing for other teams now, but never really showed nearly the same success as they did when they were all together. Um, do you think that's something that is almost required to be able to have that sort of a dynasty, right? It looks like Kansas City's trying to establish themselves in that way now.
Duplicate that dynasty and transform it into Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess the ability to be adaptable within such a long period of time.
Yeah, and then another breaking news that the New England Patriots fans are starting. They're. I just heard this week they're suing the they're suing the Kraft family and the Bill Belichick. I heard that on my phone. They're suing I just saw that today. They're suing. It was on Sports Center this morning, or on ESPN, or somewhere on Facebook, that they're suing New England.
Wow.
Patriots fans are suing New England. Patriots.
I didn't realize that. Well, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
It'll be something.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of. I mean, I must say, Joe. When someone says they're a fan of something, right?
When I meant by New England Patriots winning, they didn't. With this it felt like Tom Brady was the only big. Him and Gronk and what was his name? Martinez, was that the other tight end? Martinez,
Hernandez,
and like the rest was pretty much the defense and the offense, the lines and the receivers. Yeah, Deion Branch was maybe in the super end of the superstars like Tyreek Hill, but other than that, yeah.
And maybe you look at the way the Chiefs are structured right now. They got the quarterback. They also got the Gronk in Travis Kelce,
and then they got Deion Bush from the Bears, a veteran safety that can come and fill in hopefully Honey Badger's shoes, even on special teams and being a safety, and being a Miami Hurricane blood and NFL blood of college into the NFL.
He went to Miami.
Yeah, Deion Bush did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow, Joe. I mean, they're fans, and then they're fans.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're one of those fans. I mean, your knowledge is.
And then KU football 5-0 for the first time.
Yeah.
Since 2009, and ESPN College Game Day at Home Depot is going to be there tomorrow morning. Is already there tonight.
So we got to get a prediction for that game.
TCU and KU, but TCU and KU both undefeated. What's your prediction?
What's my prediction? I want to hear yours first.
My prediction is they'll win.
KU
will
6-0.
Move to 6-0. They'll probably be like everybody predicting them. They were underdog last week, and they were underdog last week for the first Big 12 season conference opener, and then hopefully this week there'll be another underdog. It seems like it's going to be a continuous cycle. They're going to be underdogs the rest of the way out to the season. Is that what their schedule is looking like for you right now?
If they keep winning,
those
change.
Percentages on the app will start turning around and saying that KU's favored on the even line of Las Vegas and everything.
Yeah.
And then Las Vegas, whatever. Who knows what if KU keeps going undefeated, we might be playing Georgia or Alabama in the who knows, possibly
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sky's
say,
the
if
limit for
you-
the Chiefs from Las Vegas. If we get OBJ, there could be a lot of turmoil throughout the NFL.
Exciting time to be both a fan and a fan.
And
Exactly.
hopefully a back-to-back with KU basketball.
Yeah.
Like Las Vegas has said and Facebook said down this homepage.
Tell me about your experience around the Final Four this year.
It was amazing. It was like goosebumps and butterflies all over, like butterflies flying all over the hemisphere.
When they went down, were they down 19 in the first half there in the championship game against UNC? What was your thoughts?
My thoughts were that they were going to let this slip away and lose, but I guess through halftime maybe they just say this is not going to be another Kentucky 2012 year where we just let this go and have to keep rebuilding, and after 2012 and have to have another 2018 Devontae Graham year that we lose another Final Four, and a year before get beat by Oregon Ducks.
Quack, quack.
And then this year it's going one of the NCAA rounds is going through the T-Mobile Center in the March Madness.
Gotcha.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Known as the Sprint Center before. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you I was gonna say, do you think Bill Self pulled out like his top of the shelf motivational speech for that
to the point where
national
he
championship
just,
game at halftime?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, does
To
that
it
must rank near the top?
Yes. Even though we came out being preseason poll and coaches poll as ranked number 6 in the country, one ranked underneath the top 5 from being in the top 5 of the country.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter where you're at the start of the season.
As long as KU's getting three-star players and whatever off of Jayhawks Slant or Rivals.com or any other player. Yeah.
I live next to one of the guys that does the Jayhawks Slant.
Who?
Randy Withers.
Randy Withers?
Yep. Shout out. Randy Withers.
Shout out to Randy Withers.
Yep. Live that. Man, you've talked a lot about your Chiefs fandom, your Jayhawks fandom, and
Bill Self's gonna be banging the drum this week.
Oh, really?
At the Raiders game.
Arrowhead. Wow, cool.
Cool.
I didn't know that. But man, I mean, you just listed so many players you remember Chiefs wise, and I'm sure you have a lot of memories Jayhawks wise. Could you tell us maybe just take us through your maybe your highlights or a few standout moments as a Chiefs fan, and then your lowest moments? What's like the elation and the heartbreak moment? Let's start with the Chiefs. Best and worst moments as a Chiefs fan in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are your best memory and then your worst memory?
My worst memory is during John Elway and Elvis Grbac era. That January, that cold January gloomy day when John Elway was repping their orange and navy blue, or that was one of the years, and then another year they were repping their light blue and orange throwback jerseys and beat us in the playoffs to end our season.
Was that one of the years the Broncos went on to win the whole thing?
That was one of the years against the Chiefs.
Okay.
I don't know how many Super Bowls they wanted to get. I mean, I don't know how many they've gotten there through the Chiefs 2 times to get to the Super Bowl.
Huh. I didn't remember that. So what about the high then? What's the best moment of your Chiefs fandom?
My best moment, one of the old Marty ball games. It was this time of the year is between September and October, there was a flood. There was a flood in Kansas City. This is when the Seattle Seahawks were in the AFC West instead of the NFC West. Am I right? The Seattle's in the NFC West.
Right,
Yeah. But now, but then, Rich Gannon throwing the winning touchdown. I don't know if it was to Kevin Lockett or Andre Rison. I think it was Andre Rison, if I may. And everybody said that Rich Gann had small hands, and he didn't, didn't, and even Lynn Dawson, the great Lenny that just passed away this year. Shout out to Lynn Dawson, everybody. Up looking down on us through this whole season. Hopefully the Chiefs can win the Super Bowl for Lynn Dawson this year, quote unquote. And going back to Marty Ball, I think that's how everybody looked at the Chiefs, saying this is all the Chiefs will ever be is just Marty Ball. It felt like every stage of Chiefs seasons was baby steps at a time until they gradually, kind of like the Royals, when they kept bringing up players from the minor league, AAA, and everything. They keep building. They even had to trade people to bring in Escobar. I can't say these people's names.
I don't use Escobar.
I'm surprised you remember all these guys.
Escobar, and and then I don't remember his name that came from. Moustakis that came from the Brewers. All these players that came from the Brewers.
Moose.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
And then going undefeated almost to the playoffs to win the World Series, but lost that Game 7 to the Giants, San Francisco Giants. Panda catching the last. If it was for Gordon getting around to tie the game and taking the extra innings, we could have had back-to-back World Series.
Yeah, you think he would have been safe had he gone?
Yeah, and praise the Lord that we had Yordana Ventura for those 2 years. If it wasn't for that, we would still be in the cellar.
Yeah.
Without a World Series ring.
Took everyone. Sure.
Took everyone.
Yeah. Wow. So you mentioned a lot. I'm just so impressed with your recall of all these guys. But as far as the I was gonna ask you about Worlds, but exactly for Chiefs, your best is that Marty Ball play.
And then Trent Green and all that. Yeah, okay. The Colts game against Trent Green and Tony Gonzalez, and on that blistering Sunday noon game in 2003 with Dick Vermeil. Those penalties that Chiefs, they really didn't establish themselves with official calls until they got through that game, and then they started learning all the official calls. All the way up to Herm Edwards, Romeo Cornell, all the way up to what was the coach name that came from Arizona, all the Scott Pioli and Romeo Cornell was on there, and the one that was the coach at New England, and then went to come to KU, and then was at the Chiefs. The old Charlie Weiss, and
Charlie Weiss. Wow. Yeah.
And then Todd Haley. If it was, I don't know why we got that. I don't know how to say, but Sucker.
Wow.
That sucker. I guess I could say sucker for edited
I'll
reasons.
take that. Wow, man, so many memories. What about KU? We'll do basketball. What's your worst moment and best moment KU basketball fan?
My worst moments were the Paul Pierce. He was an awesome player. Paul Pierce, Rafe LaPrince, Jock Vaughn, and all those years. And then it was the bad year was that it was bad that Roy Williams couldn't win us a national championship.
Mm.
And I felt like he could have I guess he wasn't as good as a recruiter as Bill Self. Maybe Bill Self had that recruiting mush to take the win a national title from bringing some of his coaching staff from Illinois Fighting Illini over to Kansas.
Yeah,
and I don't know, the blonde lady that left from KU down to Texas, the conditioning and the conditioning coach, strength and conditioning coach. Her name was started with a B, last name B.
Brittany Brooke. Last name.
Booty or Bun.
I couldn't tell you.
Whatever. But she's with Texas now, and then the other guys went down in Texas too, I think. Yeah.
So worst moment.
Worst moment was that we were almost. I don't know if we were undefeated. I don't know. Were we undefeated? To the point where we lost to Carmelo Anthony, the Qs in 2003 with Kurt Heinrich, and the Duke. I don't know if we would have won the national championship if we would have beat Duke in the NCAA tournament, having the monkey off our back from, I don't know what year was that, after 2003. I don't know what year that was, but with Kenny Gregory, Nick Bradford. I don't know if that was Aaron Miles or who knows. But
it was
Drew Gooden. It was that one year, and all these stepping stones to get to the Danny and the Miracles, the Mario and the Miracles, the shot that sent KU into overtime to win it against Memphis, and John Calipari. And then another stepping stones from 2010, Josh Selby, all the way up to from Julian Wright to Josh Selby to all the way up to where we are today, from the 2012 Jeff Withey to Thomas Robinson to Frank Mason to all these Big 12 championships, the 14 from 15, and then from almost being the great, from bypassing John Wooden's UCLA conference championships. I mean, title.
The record.
Home court wins.
Conference title streak.
Is it for consecutive conference?
Consecutive titles, yeah, and that got broken in 2019. Yeah, it was a heartbreaker. And then
I just like one.
And then 2018. And then all the Sylvia DeSouza scandals and all this Adidas scandals, and all the way up to now this year winning a national championship against North Carolina.
It's been quite a ride.
It's been quite a KU Jayhawk, from Larry Brown to Roy Williams to Bill Self and everything.
So you could say even that championship game was a microcosm, right? The roller coaster within the game.
Yeah, from
like the roller coaster from year to year,
year to year. And John Calipari being a assistant. I think he was like from Larry Brown to Roy Williams assistant. Assistant, a KU assistant bench fraternity coach, maybe, or
I didn't
through
know.
Roy Williams and Larry Brown, I guess. Yeah,
Huh.
I guess he was an assistant, and then he went to UMass, and then he coached in the NBA, John Calipari, and then he went to Kentucky.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I didn't know that history.
Yeah,
So if the low is those almost get it done with Roy Williams, was the high
honored. Yeah.
okay?
Honored. Yeah.
Was the high getting it done this year?
Yeah, the
with,
high was with the local boy Christian Braun from North Valley High School, Blue Valley Northwest.
Man, Blue Valley. I think that's the
and Ed Fritz coaching. Ed Fritz coaching my high school and everything. Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Blue Valley Northwest.
Oh, you went there?
I
think CC Kaiser went there too.
Yeah, he
did.
did.
The current.
Yeah.
And I just saw them play Aquinas this week on Tuesday.
Oh, she did. She went to.
I think CC Kaiser went there.
She's a soccer player.
Yeah, for the current.
The current. Oh.
Went to Ole Miss. I think she has the goals scored record for Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Oh.
Chalk that up to things I didn't know.
Yeah.
Your brother has some stuff to say too.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say so we got the Chiefs now and we got Kansas. I think next Kansas basketball. I don't know. In my lifetime, I don't remember that many highs for Kansas football. But if you were to think of Kansas football, would you have a high and a low, or do you want to go to the Royals?
I actually both. We'll hit the Orange Bowl, and then and Todd Reesing, and then we'll go to the Royals just letting go their manager and their general manager and their skipper. Okay, having from
so Kansas football,
Kansas football, Mark Mangino era. Who would have known that Mark Mangino would bring KU almost to undefeated this season before getting beat by the Missouri Tigers at Arrowhead in the Border War showdown. And they were also awoken, fans were awoken at Arrowhead by ESPN Game Day too, as well, at Arrowhead Stadium on a cold, rainy morning and everything. Everybody tenting out and everything in there.
Wow. What spectacle that must have been.
What
spectacle that must have been.
Yeah. What spectacle that must have been. And then
sounds like a classic late fall college football day.
And then losing that one game that could got us undefeated to be able to play in the college football, what they called back then the BCS championship game instead of the playoff national championship game they have these days. And then going from there to all these other coaches in between, Charlie Weiss as a KU coach, to all these other KU football coaches that did a little bit, besides one coach that did some stuff that shouldn't, got fired for some bad stuff. And I don't know where he went to.
Lance Leipold, though, right now.
He's a heck of a guy, yeah. And then,
got him looking pretty good.
And then now the Royals. What do we think about the Royals? After Ned Yost Yosting all these pitchers, to Mike Matheny taking over a couple years, 2 years.
He was the manager when I got here.
Yeah, manager.
8
now, and after Dayton Moore building this whole city, and not just building this city for baseball, just the care and the appreciative and bringing the city that it is. The city wouldn't be the city wouldn't be all like uppity on the weekends, like a nightly life scene. We wouldn't have those KC Heart t-shirts for nothing if it wasn't for the Royals and Chiefs and KU. We wouldn't have the stuff that's in Kansas Sampler right now. It wouldn't be popping. It would just be the old Kansas Sampler that you would be able to buy stuff not as expensive as it is today. And I don't know, having this new owner than David Glass, as that passed away. I don't know who this ex used to be. Cleveland manager. I don't know. He's was raised and born here in Kansas City, and I don't know how what we're going to do about this. I guess they're tired of losing. That's what I heard on the news this week with Stellerman or something on Channel 5 News. I don't know his name. The new guy from ESPN that's on Channel 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be tired of losing if I were them. You mentioned Dayton Moore and all the
how bringing up all these new new little leaguers, baseball kids, and bringing them up to be a baseball town and everything. Like, if it wasn't, I think the World Series really put a good damper, not a bad damper, on this city.
Yeah.
Like,
he really embodied all
the city and made it better than it was before the Royals. Not just the sport of it is right now, you
know.
More of a boost, maybe. Yeah.
Boost
the city.
Quite a Royals roller coaster too, in your lifetime. Man, we're you obviously know more than almost everyone, maybe everyone I've met about Kansas City sports. You're quite the expert. But I want to hear just a little bit about your life experience, and I want to hear a little more about this place.
I was going to add some stuff about Patrick Mahomes and his wife.
Oh, absolutely.
What they've done for the city and everything.
For sure, yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Brittany Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes, they've done as well as a lot to the city. As Brittany and Patrick, not even just Patrick Mahomes as a Chiefs player and winning Super Bowls and throwing passes and breaking all these records on the field as a Chief himself. But Brittany owning the current soccer team and also owning the supporting KC, and Patrick Mahomes having part in the supporting KC, and Patrick Mahomes owning part of the Royals as well, and part, was it not the T-Buck Monarchs? Yeah. Everything and even the Big Slick and all of those people owning part charity and all of that. And Dayton Moore did have some charity brought to the city too, with all he brought to the charity and the foundations of everything. I forgot to say. And Kellerman, this new Channel 5 News guy, Kellerman, I don't know if he's brought more passion than Danny Womiak, the Channel 5 sports lady, the blonde lady, Danny Womiak, the home and grown Texas Tech. I guess she was a Patrick Mahomes fan because she was raised and born in Texas, from Texas Tech. And then who was that other guy that liked K-State that was on Channel 5? Brad something. He was from Dallas, and he got now the guy. What's his name? The guy that has a beard, this short guy. Jared. From Channel 5 News. Jared has brought more than Brad. This Brad guy, I don't know what this guy's name is, but Jared Juppy, yeah.
The next time
I don't know who it is.
News, I need to know who it is. I need an identification check. I'm calling you.
And everybody, and Neil, shout out to Neil Jones. You're not a bad guy. You're not the hater after all. Neil Jones on Channel 5. People said the top 10 things in Kansas City, the top 10 on Channel 5 News. I don't know what they do. The top 5. They said
Said Joe.
Number one. The top 10 things you can do in Kansas City or whatever. Yeah.
What was number one?
Number one, Number one, we didn't have cars like these today. Number one, the stock market. And
The stock market was number one.
It's
Number one thing to do.
2 or 3, and then what things we do in Kansas City. Like we didn't have like all these. They were explaining. Neil Jones does this whole thing, and the newscaster says Neil Jones these things, top 5 things. It's top 5 or top 10 things in Kansas City, and if you look it up on Channel 5 News, they will show. I think it's usually during the week or on. Sometimes it's on Saturday or Sunday, but sometimes it's on. I don't know. Probably on Sunday this week or something. But during the week they'll put Neil Jones. It's only a Neil Jones thing, pretty much.
Okay. Well,
it's
I'd
his
be
top
interested.
10. Okay.
Yeah, see that and see if you can expand what he says into your podcast. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's a good idea. Look into that. I was thinking on this podcast, I'd be interested to know the top 5 things about L'Arche.
Top 5 things about L'Arche. Okay.
But before you say that, I think a lot of our listeners might not be familiar with L'Arche. So people have never heard L'Arche before, could you explain a little bit what L'Arche is?
L'Arche is an organization that is founded is here for people with intellectual disabilities and non-intellectual disabilities, and was founded by John Vanier and Henry Nouwen, and what's his name? Raphael. I don't know who Raphael is in Paris, France.
A bit French.
French, yeah. And it was founded by L'Arche.
So it's expanded all over the world, right?
It's expanded. It's worldwide. Yes.
Communities all across the
US and worldwide. Yeah.
I think Kate, who we both know, she was in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And maybe India as well.
Yeah, India as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, and so you're here in Kansas City. You have L'Arche Heartland.
Yes.
Here.
And she was from Jacksonville and Iowa, L'Arche in Iowa, and in Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. I remember.
Okay.
L'Arche in Chicago.
So you live here in community with some other folks, correct?
Yeah.
Are there 5 in this house?
1, 2, 1. No, including the assistant makes 5.
Okay. Cool. And
I'm the 4th. There's 4 core members and 1 assistant, so that's 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's on the clock. There's only 1 on the clock usually.
Okay. So that's when the assistant would come and be here during the
day and night. Yeah, overnight. Yeah. We don't have a living staff.
Gotcha. So when you're talking about assistants and live-in, you're saying
assistant that lives in puts their time in years. A live-in puts their time in years to live in here. And live-out assistant.
They would go home at night, basically, or sometimes during the day, depending on their schedule.
I'll make this real quick.
Oh yeah, sure. Phone call.
I'm still in the middle of the podcast, babe. I'll text you after I'm done. Okay, bye. I was making sure it was not a text message that would scare her off and everything.
No worries.
No emergency or anything.
We'll be done pretty soon. So we're talking about live in and live out assistants, and so a live in assistant would be here 24/7, and live out would live in their own home but come here and help during the day. So what's a typical day like when you wake up? What's kind of the flow of living here?
The flow of living here.
What's your schedule like?
Is I work from between 9 and 3.
Can I interrupt you there and ask where do you work? What do you do?
At Lake Mary, out in Letha.
What do you do there?
I do gray housing. It's connectors. We put two connectors into one gray housing, and you have these instructions,
Mhm.
and
Explain to me about gray housing. I'm not
yeah, we
familiar with
get
that.
these boxes and we put labels on them, and then we fold them, and then we put them in trash bags, and then we have these metal tips that they come on the pallet, and they come and they're in these plastic thick bags. They have little wine, like a little, like you put on bread, like you have on bread and everything.
Mhm.
You undo
Like a twisty tie.
twisty tie, and it has this little pack, like you know how they give you shoes and they have this little packet with little
Yeah,
things
yeah.
inside of them.
You're not supposed to eat those.
You're not supposed to eat those. Yeah.
Silica.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah,
So that's your job during
that's
the
our
days.
job. Yeah, and then they have rubber band. They used to have rubber bands in them that they don't have anymore. Yeah,
Okay. So after you do your Lake Mary job, and that's 9 to
between 9 and 3, and
9 to 3.
I
Okay.
get picked up between 2 and 3
Okay. And then you come back to
here.
the house.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we
Yeah.
do whatever what the assistants want us to do. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Gotcha.
What are some activities you do after you get back from work?
we usually do our chores, and we usually do grocery shopping and everything. Yeah,
Okay. Do you have do you eat community meals together?
yeah.
You always eat as a house. And then there are other large houses around Kansas City as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever get together with them and have like a
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
community
we have
dinner?
a community night. We have community nights on Fridays every second of the month.
Okay. Fantastic.
Every second Friday of the month, yeah. And then we have a prayer night every Tuesday between 6 and 7, yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
What I'm curious, what would you say is maybe your favorite part of being able to kind of be a part of that community? I think
Just bonding, I guess,
being
bonding
able to.
together.
Mhm. Okay, yeah.
Do you have 4 more?
Yeah.
Top 5?
Top 5, just I guess going to different large communities in the U.S. anniversary, and enjoying company with everybody, the board members and everything at the anniversary dinner, and just having all these fundraising get-togethers with board members and everything like that.
Yeah. What have you been to other large communities around the
Yeah, I've
country?
been to Chicago. I've been to Mobile, Alabama twice or three times actually, and yeah, 2 times I guess. And I've been to St. Louis, I mean, this in the St. Louis home 2 times, and in Clinton, Iowa, and Chicago.
Well, okay.
Cool.
Do you keep in touch with anyone you met there at those large communities?
I keep in touch with one from Alabama,
Yeah.
and then I keep in touch with a few from Clinton, Iowa, and Chicago, and St. Louis,
Well, now,
and Kate, of course.
yeah, for sure. Now it sounds like from when you started the podcast that you got some plans for the future here. Do you want to share with us a little more about what your vision and dreams are?
My vision is to be able to be my own guardian and be able to have my own local rap underground. If it's just a hobby, if it's bonus money involved, sure. If it's gonna be a local career, or just like, yeah, like kind of like the local people that make money here for rap, like Tech 9 and everything, or other local rappers and everything, and just want to be on the limelight, I guess, in life, like with having my own season tickets for Chiefs and get married and have my own KU and go to these big dance NCAA tournament, T-Mobile Big 12 conference, all this stuff, and have a. I just want, before I leave this earth, I just want to have all the I want to have all the tools and access to everything. Like some of these rappers would use that quote. I want to have all the access and tools to everything, do everything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you currently?
There is a rapper that actually says that.
Okay.
There's a I think it's
Exactly.
Eminem, I think. Yeah, Eminem. I think it says that I want to have all these tools and accesses.
Born Independence.
Born Independence. And no, St. Joe. St. Joe. St. Joe, and then to 8 Mile in Detroit.
I was gonna say I was just associated with Detroit.
Huh. Now, do
something new every day.
Do you come up with your own bars and rhymes right now?
Yeah, some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any that you could share? No. Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
But I have a video. I have a video on YouTube. I could share when you add me into Facebook. And
okay, for sure.
Nice, I was gonna say I can't beatbox, unfortunately, so you probably wouldn't have a beat to go with anyway. So
yeah.
That's my beatbox.
Nice. Yeah. It's a unique one. I haven't heard that one before.